Cheers to what is currently a developing double distribution, potentially trendy profile retail trading team. My live chat is unavailable. I just noticed that. Yet, this is still your routine briefing. So I'm back from a nice haircut here a little bit late today. So we're going to jump right into it. As I was preparing everything, it seemed that we were just going to have kind of another choppy look. Yet, as loading the chat again here, just in case anybody's hanging out, yet it seems that we may, I dare say, move into a double distribution type day, which would give us a bullish type trend. So, just to go over what I've been doing so far. So far, I have gotten stopped out on both sides, actually in the same 10-minute candle. So it has been a choppy first from like 10 until we'll say nowish. It's definitely been that a continuation of that super choppy look, which is never fun. Yet, what I just noticed here, and we're gonna go back to the warm up. I just want to bring this up to make sure it's still going on. What is just kind of developed here with that latest push was you're seeing this potential double distribution start to develop in the profile, and really that level for me that is going to be that single near that 45 area. So we're right about on it right now. For that assumption to be maintained, I really do not want to see that single cleaned up. So I'm going to be watching that. We're obviously super close to it, so it could be cleaned up in the middle of the briefing, and we go back to that chop look. Yet for now, we may, I dare say, have some trend developing for the first time in 6 sessions. It doesn't seem like a lot, but we started the week off and the weekend off uh, with that assumption that'd be a 100-point chop zone. I did not anticipate this extreme amount of chop. It's been literally every tick down is just kind of chopped back up, and then the majority of that significant trendy type movement occurs overnight. It has been really a crazy choppy market. So looking forward and optimistic that we might see a trendy type look today if we can hold above that single. And I'm watching right now. I actually am going to get stopped out again uh, imminently. So stand by. To move my stops up here. And there it is. Okay. Yep, there we go. Cute. So I just got flipped again. So the single is still trying to hold, it looks like. So we'll see what happens. I'll very happily flip once again. Already down 30, almost 31 points on the day. It's at 1040. So, yeah, like I said, we're watching the single, but it looks like since I just got that short signal, it looks like they may come back down and pop it. So we'll be watching that as the briefing goes on. Watching that out of the corner of my eye again. Complex trading. Yesterday, actually, as I was reviewing it, was one of the most complex trading days that I have seen it so far this year. And this one, especially as we start to rally again here, seems to be shaping up to be the same. So who knows? I keep flipping the assumption every minute that the briefing ticks by. So let's just go and look at the levels, look at what we need to be watching, and then we'll worry about trading after that. So you can see the inventory was obviously down overnight, net short, same thing we've been seeing. They move it down overnight, the market opens, and maybe we move a little lower, but then chop back higher. It's that same playbook, open rejection reverse, which is still bullish. So you do have that potential for that bull move. Yet, like I said, we need to, I think, maintain this double distribution and start to move higher sooner rather than later. And we'll look at the VIX here to see if we can't glean any insights from that as well. So yeah, just again, so the characteristic of that double distribution profile in this super tight IBR, again, just another thing, these IB ranges have been extremely tight for several days now. So you're just kind of seeing that continue. But if we do get the double distribution look, which I'm going to check again as we downtick, let's get a specific number on that. So 44. Once we hit 44, we do clean up that single, and you know, trend hopes and dreams are at least tabled. And there you go. Okay, no surprise. Anyways, so yeah, uh, I'm gonna have to change this back as we are live right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we're now again looking at that neutral look for the seventh trading session in a row. Quite irregular, I must say, retail trading team to see this level of chop. So we'll again, as the day progresses, we'll look to potentially change that if something else changes. So that's what we got on the warm-up document. It's in the description of this video. You can access it at any time and kind of keep tabs on the major levels I'm watching throughout the day, our expected move zones, and anything else that comes up that's important will be reflected in here. And you can also follow along with Barb, which is the future strategy that I'm using. Um, I need to fill in the 28th. I haven't filled that in yet, but you can just see kind of besides the 28th, which was winning day, how everything is going. We actually are nearing, so the current drawdown from the high is actually nearing that max drawdown again. So that just kind of to me implies that we may see a trend day sooner rather than later. Yet it's not looking like that so far today. So we'll see. Um, oh, hello, Mr. Ernie. Thank you for hopping in to the puppet show. Yeah, so that's the warm-up document. So we're just going to move on there into the charts themselves, starting with just kind of the big picture. As you can see, still just junk, lots going on. So ignore this. This is just my current position. The major level that I'm watching, they were kind of starting to lose that 100 SMA. Yeah, we popped right down into this very large demand zone. I don't really know exactly where we're going to find support there. It just seems to be a lot of potential areas for like this 400 point range. So it's very much yes, Ernie. She's not a hottie today, that's for sure. And any case, we will have to figure out what happens as we pop into there. But right now we're still kind of dealing with all the chop going on. And yeah, just kind of watch everything that we have above that we've been talking about all week. It's all the SMAs and all the various trend lines for us to really start any type of bull move. I think we need to get back above that 200 SMA at the very least, and then any type of bear move, we just got to kind of follow it to the downside. So for me, I just use that future strategy, which again you can find in the description of this video. You go to that folder, day trading, routine day trading, open that document. You can see exactly the future strategy I'm using. But in terms of like trying to crystal ball it, this is kind of a really tough spot. I think a lot tougher than normal. When we were a little bit higher, we had the inclination that we might return back to this area. Yet right now, I think it's very much level to level, kind of being more reactive than predictive. Obviously, a day trader should always be more reactive than predictive. Yet I think that's particularly important right now. Yeah, Mr. Ernie, I've so far today I started off long, got stopped out, flipped short, got stopped out again into a long. Long just got stopped out again. I am again short. So uh, the interesting thing about this for anybody listening not familiar with Barb is it is a tilt-proof strategy. I'm not over trading this because I'm not really making any decisions except just seeing what the pretty candles say. So when you get this many stop outs, especially in this short of a period of time, again, that's just indicative of chop. And I just want to emphasize that. So you look at that drawdown, the max drawdown, we actually are nearing that again from the high of the strategy. So that's, I think, the one sign that perhaps a trend day is coming. And then the second is just you had yesterday, which was, like I said, because I trade everything simulation the night after, and yesterday was by far the trappiest day of the year, the most complex. I had to trade it several times in simulation just to get consistent results. So we're kind of when you get this kind of trappy, extremely choppy tape, it's usually followed by an expansion of the ranges. So you're also seeing that super tight IBR as well. That's you start to see that expansion, and that's when you get that trend day. And I think if it's especially if it's a reversal type trend day, I think it's going to be one that carries over into the next as well. So we'll get to the chop, and then we'll go from there. Oh, hello, Mr. Juiceball. Thank you for joining the chat as well. So just to update you, as I was just texting you, we just got another stop out and yet another flip. So crazy amount of trappiness as we were discussing. And yeah, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in this briefing. So let's move on to the TPO chart to see what we got going on there. Like I said in the very beginning, we were talking about how this sweet double distribution might have been developing, and then obviously they took that out. And what are we seeing again? Just to reiterate, it's again that neutral profile look, tight ranges, uncertainty, and eventually we tend to close near an extreme. So we'll see if anything changes. You can keep following me on Twitter if you don't already, and if you're interested in intraday updates. So that's really what we got right now. I'll be looking to see what happens if and when we do go clean up these singles from the overnight session. Yet very much level to level. And yeah, so that's a TPO. I think if we do start to see that move down at all, that 39.24 naked POC, I would think would be quite a decent level to look for support, as that'll be a nice overnight low trap as well. And there's the word trap again. I think that's what we can expect in this market until something changes. So if they do decide to miraculously trend us lower and we get past that 39.24, I actually think there's a good amount of space down to 38.95. That poor low. Remember, poor low is just weak-handed shorts. So they're more likely to cover as we near it, and that kind of will buoy price back up. So um, however, I do think that's going to be kind of a magnet. It's obviously that 3900 area as well. It's super magnetic. Well, you make that another keyword today. And yeah, so that's what I'm watching on the TPO. So finally, just one more glance at the volatility chart. Not much going on there. We haven't moved really at all since last week, in fact. So 2160 to 2060, a $1 range in volatility. Again, weird in terms of how narrow that range is as well. So contraction leads to expansion, expansion leads to contraction, and boy, we contracted right now. And you're seeing that in volatility too. So levels remain the same as they've always been, that 20 area. And if we do see a break higher, that 2320, 2340. Yeah, really at this point, I think that just because of how tight everything is, if we start to get above 22, I think you might see that quick extension on volatility and that quick move lower in the market. So we'll see what happens there. There's obviously a lot of stuff in the way on either side, and we will keep tabs on it as we move forward. Like I said, if you want to stay updated throughout the day, you can tweet me at Routine Trader if you have any questions, or you can just follow um, that account as well, because I will post anything that's relevant on top of the newsletter, which will be out pretty much right after this video. There, it's nice and easy now. I just got to copy and paste a couple things in, and I'll push that out as well. Finally, I never mentioned this, but for any electronic music fans who don't mind rough transitions, you can hang out on Twitch with me and a few guys from 12 to 2 Eastern every day as well. So besides that, and if you do subscribe to the newsletter, you can also respond with any email with any questions. If you're not a subscriber, once again, in the description of this video, or just go to retailtrading.com and you can get that in your inbox as well. And I'm also happy to answer any questions you may have in the comment of this video itself. So I'm going to take a quick look at the chat here. Currently turning, yeah, OJ, I mean, I don't know if I would call uh, anything support or resistance at this point. It's just kind of which zone we're going to chop in. So we will see. Let's see the gap. So 39.15, 39.20 SPX. Another interesting level to watch. And yeah, I mean, Ernie, that's a good idea. I think I will start streaming a little longer. I actually had bitrate issues on Twitch that I fixed, so I don't have any drop frames or anything on there right now. I'll probably do it on there just because I want to keep these videos short enough that I can throw them in the newsletter and not annoy people by having a 2.5 hour long video. This one itself is long enough, I'm sure. So yeah, that's a good idea. I think I will consider doing that. That way you can see me get stopped out live and schadenfreude, as they say. Might be a nice marketing technique. And no, OJ, there will be no whipping or nay-naying for this routine briefing. But hey, if we get a trend day, I will perhaps consider it for you. Okay, so with all that intelligent commentary, I am going to wrap it up today. Once again, this is the warm-up document. You can also follow the trade log, Twitter for intraday updates. And please, if you enjoyed today's content, do give it a like to help with YouTube's algorithm. Uh, I would appreciate that. And growing my 3 follower base is definitely a goal for routine trader. So that's all I have for you. It's time to continue getting stopped out, or dare I say, maybe get a profitable trade going here eventually. Not looking good at this particular moment, as a short trade is once again uh, taking some heat. So we'll see what happens as the day goes on here. But regardless, thank you for hanging out, especially my 2 friends in the chat here. It's always good to have people watching live. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and stay classy until tomorrow.